Hey, Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Shemi Ashai, by Hashem Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, and those a great millstone. Peace and blessing to your brothers, pushing truth throughout the four winds. I really haven't titled this video, but it's basically going into Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, and speaking on the times after everyone understands kind of like the big moment of you were right all along, not to give vain glory to anyone, but it's just basically giving you how people are going to receive and understand how the Lord deals with the least of everything, what people look at and consider as the least. Like people who the lowly, and how the Lord uses the lowly. Okay, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1, it says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors." So when we look at this word afflicted, it says to distress with mental or bodily pain, trouble greatly or grievously, to overthrow, defeat, to humble. So the majority of people who's done this would be, it could be your woman, it could be people on the pass by if you're doing videos, but a lot of times it's going to be immediate family, and it could be your woman, but through all that you did, they took no account on the reading you did, the fasting, the prayer, the sacrifices of giving up this life, for the one to come, so they look past all of those things and they basically cause your life boring, and like you weren't the best thing, when it came to just living. You just weren't living the best life to them. You just looked like you were just plain Jane with everything. So they didn't take into consideration, what you were doing and why you were doing it, Verse 2, it says, "When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for." So they were looking for the truth, but they ran right by it. So far beyond it that it's like they looked clean over what was right in their face the whole time. Okay? They looked right past it. And they were basically, basically, they were troubled, and just amazed at, wow, the strangeness of the salvation of this guy. Used to basically call on these names. No one never really knew. He was just going on about this crazy diet that he couldn't eat all of these things. And they'll try to go to Acts, the 10th chapter, and basically say you can eat anything or whatever. And they're going to look at these things and just be amazed at, wow, so what he was saying was really the right way to go. Verse 3, it says, "And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach." So they basically just treated you off, anguish. excruciating or acute distress, suffering, or pain, the anguish of grief. So sometimes thinking of this is how they're basically going to be. They're going to be like in pain and grief, like in a headspace of, man, we screwed. We're screwed. Like it's grief now. It's grievous to them. And they're basically going to be suffering, knowing if this guy was telling the truth the whole time, that means that we did it the wrong way the whole time. And guess what? And they're repenting and groaning. So now they're trying to get it right by trying to remember the name of the Lord and groaning like to and fro, just trying to figure out what it is that they have to do. Derision, ridicule, and mockery. So this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, who we've mocked and said he was crazy. And he basically, he was just nuts. He was loony because the things he said, we didn't agree with. We didn't really understand what he was saying. So let's just make a mockery of him. Okay. And the rest is verse 4. It says, "We fools accounted his life madness." Could you imagine you're at a family event and they're making gumbo and they got crab and oysters and everything in it, and I don't eat that. Why not? I just don't eat it. And then they get to bringing up, it's a religious thing, and they'll just basically look at you and like, man, you can eat whatever you want to eat. It was all paid for already. He paid the price to where you can do that, and they'll look at your life like madness. There's no way to live. It says, and his end to be without honor. So all of those things they thought you were doing in vain. You're not going to get no reward or make it out of here just because you're not eating these certain foods. It says, how was he numbered amongst the children of the Most High, and his lot is among the saints? Like, how did he do that? Like, what was it he did that made him so special that he's numbered against the chosen? Okay? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth. Like, we had it wrong. We were in error the whole time. Okay? And the light of righteousness had not shined into us, and the sun of the righteousness rose not upon us. So we got it wrong. We never received truth. Okay? And Salakias 7, we wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. We wearied ourselves. So you were just sick and worn out on just basically doing wickedness. You didn't know it was wickedness then, but you wearied yourself in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. So you went every which way, thinking it was the truth, but when you look back on it, it was all wrong the whole time. We never knew the way of the Lord. We thought we did. We were going to church, paying our tithes and all that stuff, and what happened? It's telling you, we never knew the true way of the Lord. what hath pride profited us? So these are some people who could have been going to church and seen the prophet standing on a corner preaching and just kind of like shunned their nose at them, like, what are they talking about? You know? Being proud, being prideful. What good hath riches with our vaunting brought us? So tooting your nose up, driving a $200,000 car, it got you nowhere, you know? So it's something to look forward to with this prophecy as it plays out. You know, people are really going to get that it's certain men that were set up to do this, you know, and they're going to be made fun of. But when the smoke clears, they're going to be the ones that everyone's looking up to. Okay, with that, I want to say shalom.